where we talked about the symbolism of the chariot, and that being the body, the mind, the intellect, and the owner. Now, who is this owner? Well, that of course is the Atma. But we feel we are distinct from Atma because we cannot sense it, feel it, experience the Atma. And therefore, we have actually ended up negating the very existence of that which is powering us every second. That which is the very spark behind every activity that we do. Our ability to love, to laugh, to experience literature, to experience Bhagavad Gita, to listen, to be able to comprehend something and say, aha, all that is a spark. This jada body and mind, which are actually inert, are not capable of that activity which we are doing right now. Atma is the only conscious principle, and therefore we say, yes, this body, deha, man, buddhi, ahankar may be you, it is you for a brief period of time during the course of this lifetime, or as long as you hold the body in any of the lifetimes. Yes, but is there something beyond which is nitya, which is shashvat, sanatan, indestructible, infinite and eternal? Oh, we say, yes, maybe there is some God up there which is some other entity. How can God be some other entity? If the device is being powered by electricity, it cannot say that I am other than electricity. It can say I cannot function at all without electricity. So whether it's a light bulb or a fan or a mixie, whatever, it is powerless for any action without the electricity. Can you see the electricity coursing through the fan and the light and the mixie? You can't see it. It is an invisible power. Okay, having understood that, we still dwell in the world as body, mind, intellect, naturally, because we have been so closely associated, identified completely with it, so much so that we think this skin is me, this body is me, this shakal surat is me, this intelligence, not intellect, this intelligence is me, this ability to dance or to do some craft work or to do music is me. These are your abilities of the mind body. This is not you. But our identification naturally is very, very strong because that's the way the mind is conditioned. But what's the problem with it? So what? So the problem is that if I am completely identified with something which is anitya and nashwar, it is bound to bring me sorrow. Isme kya do rai hai? Anything that does not last is bound to bring me sorrow at some point or another, because I have lost that joy that I was experiencing through the medium of this instrument called the body, mind and intellect. And that's becoming withered, that's deteriorating, and the objects of the world are also withering, deteriorating or disappearing from your life, just like your the beauty and the youth and the sharpness of the mind, the vigor of the body, all this is deteriorating. And therefore we say, oh, the thing that I was identified with is not giving me joy all the time, or will not give me joy forever. That's the truth. So that sorrow that comes out of this identification is the problem. Otherwise, you can very well say, yes, of course, I experience joy through the senses, the sense of touch and rang, roop, ras, gandha. Yes, I experience it. Who can deny that pleasure we get? But is that pleasure seeking the ultimate purpose of our life? That is the question here. So we stopped at the chariot symbolism, and that chariot has to have reins held by a very intelligent charioteer who can hold the reins which are actually driving the horses of the senses. So the senses are going wild because my sense of sight or touch is only looking for that pleasure of touch or sight or smell or sound. So my senses by themselves do not have the vivek, the discrimination, the discernment or the buddhi to distinguish between good and bad. So it goes out into everything that gives pleasure to the senses. How can you say, oh, my senses are not intelligent? Yes, they are not, because they are only senses, indriya. So we are going to see in chapter 2 how Bhagwan advises Arjun to get over this sorrow. The sorrow is much deeper than the sorrow of the man buddhi. It is of the aham and the identification. The moment this man buddhi, ahankar and deha identifies with itself as the BMI, body, mind, intellect, it begins to interact with other people and objects in the world with their bodies, mind and intellects, which are also inert. Actually, we are in all relationships, we are one inert interacting with another inert. There is no intelligent relationship between two anythings, two people, two objects. They cannot be, because they are inert. Now, when we interact with the world thinking that they are real and we are real, it's bound to bring delusion. This is called the moha, or the delusion of sansar or maya. Because, why do we call it maya? Because we know that it is not long lasting, and nothing is long lasting in this world. Nothing is meant to be long lasting, because it's all matter, prakriti. इस प्रकृति के पीछे एक आत्मा है, and that atma has been called purush. So men need not feel proud of the word purush. Here purush doesn't stand for male, it stands for atma. So if there is prakriti, there has to be purush in order to get the world moving. All the planets, the cosmos, the seasons, the plants and all the creatures in it, they are moving because of the combination of these two. That's all. We are all just a combo, a combination of prakriti, matter and spirit. And matter is meant to deteriorate and be destroyed. Anyway, that's the chariot, the body. I look after the chariot well, because it has to take me a long way. This chariot, this body has to take me through 80, 90 years or whatever, but in a good condition. Because when it fails to be in a good condition, I cannot fulfill my purpose. अरे भाई purpose क्या है? People say कि I am going to follow Ayurveda and yoga and pranayam and be really a fitness freak. Yes, you can be a fitness freak, but not with the purpose of having a fit mind and body in order to enjoy the pleasures of the world with more vigor. I need strength and I need agility to enjoy the pleasures of the world with even more vigor. That is madness, because the pleasures of the world are unending. Unending. So are you going to endlessly follow them? Anyway, the body will fall at the end of it. So we can't fool ourselves with an amount of yoga and pranayam and Ayurveda or whatever. But yes, if you want to keep your body fit, it is in order, and that is where we stopped yesterday, in order to have the mental and spiritual and intellectual stamina to do the three things which are needed for us to go up to a spiritual life and to recognize the ultimate truth. And those three things are Shravanam, Mananam, Nitidhyasanam. Shravanam, to listen to the scriptures. I need stamina to stay up and to listen. Maybe first we start with one talk a week, then 2 talks a week, then sometimes we go on to videos. And that's how every day we get involved in more and more listening through videos of the Swamis, etc., who are already posting their videos. So our stamina increases. And then we find we're listening to more and more and reading more and more. For hours of sitting up and reading, you need concentration, you need focused mind. Your mind cannot focus if it is on the pain of your body or the pleasure of the world, either of these two. And for that, focus on scriptures, Shravanam, first to understand and read. Okay. Once having done that kind of tap means a spiritual effort, then Mananam, reflect upon it. Don't let the mind rush out into the world once again into inhone kya kaha, unhone kya kaha. Yes, it will go out momentarily when something shocking happens. The faster you bring back the mind to your stillness of yourself, the sthit pragya of yourself, that is the test of your spirituality. So Mananam, reflection. I need stamina, I need vigor, I have to keep this chariot in good condition. For Shravanam, for more and more stamina building. First I read one book, then another Upanishad. The stamina has to build. Just like in the gym, people go and build their stamina, but they are only building the stamina of flesh and bones. So we have to build our spiritual stamina. And Nitidhyasanam, that stamina to be in dhyan. In the beginning, we'll find the mind cannot hold in dhyan even for a minute, then 5 minutes, then half an hour, then 1 hour, then sitting cross-legged without the body getting restless for 2 hours, 1 hour. Can we do it? All this requires stamina. In fact, any pursuit you have in the world, any pursuit, वर्ल्डली परस्यूट, संसारी, कि हमको वो प्रमोशन चाहिए या वो जॉब चाहिए या ये प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट करना है या एक नया बिजनेस शुरू करना है, स्टार्टअप करना है, बेटी की शादी करना है, एनी प्रोजेक्ट पर्सनल और प्रोफेशनल, यू नीड द सेम काइंड ऑफ तप, रिगर, स्टैमिना एंड एप्लीकेशन. यू कांट अचीव इवन संसारी थिंग्स विदाउट दिस. तब समझिए कि स्पिरिचुअल ग्रोथ में कितना स्टैमिना लगता है. तो अगर हमको स्टार्टअप करना है अपना, आई वांट टू मे बी स्टार्ट अ फैशन लाइन और समथिंग लाइक दैट, ज्वेलरी फैशन लाइन, तो आई कांट से कि अच्छा हम हफ्ते में 2 बार 1-1 घंटा आई विल जस्ट गेट ऑन टू माई कंप्यूटर एंड दोज वन आफ्टर दैट दोज 2 आवर्स आई विल शट द कंप्यूटर, और फिर अगले हफ्ते 2 आवर्स. I will not limit myself because I am driven by a purpose. I know in this case, in the worldly sense, it is a reward and all that. But the purpose, when it is strong enough, then there is no time limit that you put yourself to and say, 2 घंटा करेंगे उसके बाद तो भैया छोड़ दो. So that chariot needs well-oiled wheels to go on for a longer and longer time. Don't worry, the effort will go into next life too. But we had stopped to say, what is this adharma which has come about? Because the entire war of Mahabharat is the war between dharma and adharma. And we already spoke about all the characters who were sunk in adharma. Shakuni and Duryodhan and Dhritarashtra, and I did not mention Shantanu for lack of time, some other time. But basically the whole story was Duryodhan attached to power and greed, Shakuni attached to his sister, love for his sister, and Dhritarashtra attached to love for his sons. Everyone is doing something wrong, but the root cause is one: attachment. Kaikeyi in Ramayana, she had this crazy notion that Bharat should be the king, and because of that, the entire Ramayana and being exiled, Ram being exiled with his family, and then Sita being abducted, and this great war, everything is spiraled by one thought. And we talked about that, how one thought can spiral into a big event. So that one thought of Kaikeyi was also attachment is the very root. So when we say, and what about Shantanu? Yes, he was attached to Satyavati. That story I'm holding for later. Arjun, what was he attached to? The moment he got to the center, first he asked Krishna, please take me to the center, very bravely, center of the 2 armies. I want to have a look at the view, not view, but the Sanskrit viewed her, that is the formations. How are they formed? How have they made their elephant and their horse formations? I want to see the chariots and all. But the moment he went there, he sank in despair and despondency because his attachment overtook him. So Arjun's also in the same boat of attachment, where he saw his grand uncles and his cousins and his sasurji and of course his cousins and his teachers whom he loved so much. He says, no, I can't do this. You know what the trouble is? The trouble with modern education is, or any education actually, because Arjun also fell into the trap. Modern education and any other education tells us how you can achieve something, how you can through that achievement and talent, how you can acquire things and objects. So if you can get a job, and through that job you can acquire possessions and property and prestige and kingdom, etc., etc. All education prepares us and our next generation for acquiring, accumulating, acquisitions, possessions. Not one subject in the schools or colleges ever teaches us, ठीक है, how can we teach you now to drop it, detach, how to drop the aham, which is holding on to property, prestige, family, possessions, aham, everything. That attachment, if any education teaches us to drop, then it is a complete education. And can you imagine, Arjun had spent 12 years in the forest, and he had not wasted his time just hunting and picking up berries and eating. He had actually done 12 years of tap. First he had pleased Lord Shiva and got the Pashupat Astra, the magical weapon from him, and then later on Durga. He had done 12 years of ghor tapasya, and after that, in one moment of weakness, he fell a victim to attachment. Can you imagine? Us, we poor, ordinary people who have no idea of dhyan, tap and vairagya, हम तो रोज ही इसमें पड़े रहते हैं. जब अर्जुन को ये हो सकता है, तो फिर हम क्या चीज है? Okay. Now, where does this attachment come from? It comes just from, as I said, one thought. एक ख्याल आता है कि ये चीज है, या ये रिलेशनशिप है, या ये वस्तु, व्यक्ति, परिस्थिति, घटना है जो मुझे चाहिए. I want it attached to me. It will bring me happiness. I think it will bring me happiness, and I want it to happen. And then we chase it, and then we do karma, etc., etc. And then the moment we chase something that we like, that liking of something becomes, with repeated practice, our swabhav, our personality, hamari shakhsiyat. So that swabhav then is collected as our vasana, because we can't fulfill all our desires in one life. So bundles of desire, vasanas are going over. Now, this attachment is now a kind of expectation that this relationship or that object or that situation will bring me happiness. अभी शादी कर लेते हैं, अभी एक नया जॉब ले लेते हैं, अभी थोड़ा छोटा सा बिजनेस खोल लेते हैं, अरे बच्चे नहीं हुए, अब बच्चे होना चाहिए, फैमिली होना चाहिए. तो शादी और बच्चे और बिजनेस और प्रॉपर्टीज और all that is fine, but it's collecting more and more desires which are actually unlimited. Have you ever put a stop to this? It's called vitteshna, this desire for things outside, and putreshna. Have you put an end to it anyway, saying, okay, I'm done, I think I have enough, let me change the course of my life? Has anyone done that? Very few do that. So the first mistake, that the delusion is that all relationships, all objects which give me happiness are real. And actually even that is not the first mistake. The first mistake is our vision, कि मैं शादी करूंगा या करूंगी, या वो जॉब होगा, या ऐसा फला बिजनेस होगा. दैट विजन इज इन माई माइंड कि फिर मुझे कितना सुख मिलेगा. अरे वो ट्रे लेके सुबह सुबह मुझे जगा के चाय पिलाएगी, एंड शी विल बी माई कंपेनियन इन सुख दुख. एंड क्या क्या विजन बनाए होते हैं फ्रॉम ऑल रिलेशनशिप्स, एंड देन और इवन फ्रॉम जॉब्स. हम ऐसी नौकरी करेंगे, वैसी नौकरी करेंगे, एंड यू एंड अप इन द कॉर्पोरेट वेयर पीपल आर completely cutting you down and causing more misery, and the boss, sometimes he stands up for you, sometimes he doesn't even stand up for you when you are right, like Bhishma. And then you see the injustice of the world and you say, अरे भाई हम तो नौकरी के बिना ही अच्छे थे, हम तो शादी के बिना ही अच्छे थे. And the kids give you even more trouble, and then you say हम उसके बिना ही अच्छे थे. हाँ, that is because it's not that the world is something is wrong with the world. The world is as it is. क्योंकि जितने लोग हमारे लाइफ में आ रहे हैं, spouses and colleagues in the office, and they are coming with their own expectations, and you are coming with your own expectations. All relationships are meant only, according to Shastra, only and only to take each other higher up on the spiritual ladder. They are meant to help you evolve spiritually. If not, then they are only worldly relationships, and they just help you waste one more lifetime. According to the Shastra, every relationship is meant to help you climb up that ladder. Now, this attachment to the wrong things, to the temporary objects, to the relationships where every other person whom you are relating to is thinking, मुझे इनसे attachment ये इसलिए है, I miss you, they say I miss you. Actually they are missing what they get out of you. तो सब लोग अपनी अपनी वासना के साथ, अपने अपने एक्सपेक्टेशंस के साथ, हर रिलेशनशिप में, हर ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ और हर सिचुएशन में पड़े हुए हैं. एंड नथिंग इज गोइंग टू बी परमानेंट, एवरीथिंग विल मूव. हम बेसिकली क्या बने हुए हैं? आई हैव कम इन दिस वर्ल्ड, आई वांट दिस और दैट, आई बिकम अ डिजायरर, अ वांटर, अ भोक्ता. And because of that, I do karma. I want this, I want that, so I am going to do it. So I become karta and bhokta. The moment you break this shell, कि मैं करता और भोक्ता नहीं हूँ, I am not just here to do actions to fulfill every next small desire that pops its head up. Because एक desire fulfill करो, दूसरी has popped up, और फिर तीसरी has popped up. They are all queued up for generations, for millions of lifetimes. हमारे पीछे हमारी desires एकदम queued up हैं. कभी तो उसको स्टॉप करना है. एंड द मोमेंट यू रियलाइज दिस कि अरे दिस इज लाइक एड इन्फिनिटम, हाउ many more lives in the future will I go on like this? The moment you see it see the sansar with a dosh drishti. Dosh drishti means you see the dosh of sansar कि अरे ये तो futile है. And the moment you see sansar with a dukha drishti means अरे ये संसार में तो मुझे पहले तो सुख मिलता है, pleasure like wine, and then after that it becomes poison in my body. So dukha drishti and dosha drishti se sansar ko jaise hi dekha, your attachment is cut asunder. It is simply sliced into by the sword of gyan. ये तो भगवान ने कहा ही था पहले. You can slice that attachment. What about dharma? We have talked a lot about adharma. What about dharma? Yes, there were people during that time and I have mentioned them. Unfortunately, nobody even knows about these people. I don't know why history, mythology, storytellers don't make heroes out of people who actually stuck their necks out in this horror called Mahabharat and tried their best to stand up for what is right. One of them is Yuyutsu. I think I have mentioned him before. Yuyutsu was a Dasiputra of Dhritarashtra on the Kaurava side. He looked at this battle scenario in full view of everyone. He had the guts to cross right over to the Pandavas. That choice was given to everyone. Before the conch shell was blown, the choice was given. Can you stand up for what is right? I am giving you some time. And then only Yuyutsu, a small ordinary Dasiputra. He was not even considered royal because he was begotten from a Dasi. Okay, I admire him. And our children who are told stories from Mahabharata should be told such stories. We don't hear of these characters. Vikarna. Has anybody heard of Vikarna? No. When Draupadi, there was an attempted disrobing of Draupadi, which was most shameful in the presence of kings and grandparents, like Bhishma. Who stood up? One of the brothers of Duryodhan. Duryodhan, while he is busy doing this shameful act, one of his own brothers called Vikarna stood up and said, no, this is wrong. Of course, he was put down because of the sheer power and strength of these fellows. But I'm saying, are there enough people to stand up for what is right? And you see a lot of this happening. Today, the Mahabharata has shifted over from Kurukshetra to the Twitter handles, to media, to Facebook, and God knows how many other platforms there are. On every platform, there is someone torturing someone else, showing them down, cutting them down, or trolling them, as they call it in modern language. I'm sure Vikarna and Yuyutsu got badly trolled later on for what they had done. But they still stood by what is right. And our we have to warn our next few generations, because there have been suicides, and there have been extreme cases of depression amongst the youth because of online torture on Twitter and all the other platforms. This is a real thing. This is not a joke anymore, that Mahabharata has shifted to the digital platform. What about Arjun's dharma? Yeah, he acted in a dharmic way by saying, oh, I know we are fighting a battle, but I don't see enemies. I see only my cousins. And second thing he did, which is also in line with dharma, and we must remember this one, is that when he put down his arrow, bow and arrow called Gandiva, a bow, he actually got up from his seat and sat down on the upastha, that yoke which yokes the carriage to the horses. He sat down on that upastha, that yoke, and turned his back to the army. This is there in chapter 1. Turned his back to the army and faced Krishna and said, Shishyaste ham shadhimam tvam prapannam. I surrender to you completely. I am your Shishya. Tell me now what I need to do. If we need to know the highest truth, we need to surrender completely to the scripture and say, yes, I am ready to listen, and I am ready to listen with belief, not with disbelief or sarcasm or putting down or skepticism. Then Krishna says to such people in the 18th chapter, please do not narrate the Gita to any such person who has no Shraddha. Arjun's dharmic behavior was complete surrender. Mirabai, maybe she didn't read the scriptures, but her surrender was of the bhakti kind. That is also surrender. Basically it means, and in Karma Yoga, you surrender again your selfishness in getting this or that. Ego surrendered, your half the battle is won towards dharma. Arjun did that. So these all dharmic behavior. Yudhishthir, we saw that the sanskar, he was such a sanskari man that he crossed over to the Kauravas side and said, no, I can't begin the battle unless I have taken the blessings of my elders. That was the sanskar of that time. So he took the blessings of Bhishma, Dronacharya and Kripacharya, who all said they had to give blessings. वो उनका धर्म है, गुरु का धर्म है, blessing दो. So they all blessed him and said, Vijayi Bhava, may you win this battle. That was the strange part. Now, धर्म की अगर बात करें ना, none of our children in school, none of us also in childhood ever heard of the real people who stood for dharma. We've heard a lot about Duryodhan, etc., etc., and Dhritarashtra and all the villains of the piece. What about the youngest of the Pandavas, Sahadev? Sahadev was actually a very renowned astrologer. He could predict events and what was the auspicious time for beginning big events like weddings and stuff like that. So naturally he had been approached by Arjun, and Arjun was told, if you want victory, this is the right time or the most auspicious time to begin the battle of Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, the battle of Mahabharata. And guess who approached Sahadev, the astrologer, right after that? Who walks in but Duryodhan and says, Sahadev, you have to also read my stars and tell me what is the right time, auspicious time, so that I may be victorious. What do you think Sahadev did? People who are in the line, totally integrated with dharma, they are incapable of telling a lie. Whether the lie is I talked about it, whether the lie is something very, very small and innocuous. Nothing is innocuous when it is a lie, please understand. That lie goes with you as your prarabdha and your karma, and it may be a small lie. So Sahadev did not know about lying. So he said to Duryodhan, okay, this is the time. If you begin at this time, you may be victorious too. Then how do you think they lost the battle? That's a long story, because Krishna had to play a trick, and there had to be some commotion caused by Ghatotkach because of Krishna. And since the commotion was caused, that auspicious time passed, and then it was the right time for Arjun to begin. So some games have to be played. But I'm talking about Sahadev, who could not tell a lie to the opposition army as a person whose as an astrologer, his dharma was to tell him what was needed. Now, coming to chapter 2, I'm going to take some verses, the highlights of the verses, because we have done a great deal from this chapter already. The highlights are, first of all, what is the question that troubles everyone? Why am I here? Why am I here on this planet? Okay, so you are here because of your past karma. Had you not collected karma, you would not have any karma phal to complete or to experience. No karma phal, so no punarjanam and no life. So I am here because of my past karma. And what about the karma that I am doing now? Telling lies or manipulating or completely living a materialistic life of possessions and not having a single question in my head about what is the purpose of this human life. Okay, I may die in that being still a very, very simple, honest. You don't have to be a villain to get a new life. You just have to be ignorant of the highest truth to get a new punarjanam. So you can say, अरे मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया. हाँ, कुछ नहीं किया ना, it means सत्य को भी नहीं जाना, ज्ञान भी नहीं प्राप्त किया. So come back. So come back in punarjanam. And therefore हमारा आज का जो कर्म है, that is not bad karma. Bad कर्म तो आएगा ही कर्म फल की शक्ल में, but also neglecting, that is dereliction of your duty, that is by omission. हमने शास्त्र को, अपने सत्य को, अपने आप को, परमात्मा को नहीं पहचाना, तो by omission also, सिर्फ कमीशन से नहीं, omission से भी हमको कर्म जुड़ गया और हमको आना पड़ेगा. And what do you actually want but while you are here? ठीक है, समझ में आ गया. I want to be free of suffering. Simple. सभी यही कहेंगे. I want to be free of suffering. I want no disturbance in my life. I want no conflict, but I want continuous and permanent joy. And I want to live forever. अच्छा, ऐसा भी होता है? तो कृष्ण कहते हैं कि yes, ऐसा होता है. So I am taking chapter 2, verse number 12. Okay, I'll give you a minute to reach your text. Chapter 2, verse 12. भगवान कहते हैं, अरे, you want to be immortal? One of your greatest fears and suffering in life is about death, but that is easily solved because you are not destructible. Number 12 में कहते हैं, नत्वे वाहम जातु नासम नत्वम नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्. There was never a time in the past and will never be a time in the future, Arjun, when you will not exist, and nor will the Kauravas cease to exist. That means your existence and that of the Kauravas is completely eternal, infinite. I assure you, Krishna says, I assure you, there was never a time, natve vaham jatu nasam. Acha, so then I move to number 13, when he explains, ऐसा कैसे हुआ? ऐसा हुआ, number 13, 1-3. देहि नोस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मोह्यति. This embodied soul, you are a soul, Atma. You cannot see it and sense it, I know. But this soul is embodied. That means it just holds your body. That body has moved from childhood to youth and will move into old age. Through all these stages of your life, you still say, this is I. तो ये continuous और constant factor कौन सा है? You have changed completely. Every cell in your body has changed. Your shakal surat has changed. Your talents, your views and your mental makeup has changed. What is it that is the same then? Then you say this is still me, I. Because it is that unchanging entity in you which never changes. Okay? But what about death? After death do I change? Tatha dehantara praptihi. No, after dehant also, after your death also, you will continue in you as in the Atma. And I assure you about that. तो फिर death से क्या घबराना? What suffering are you talking about? Death. Whose death? The death of my loved ones. Okay, but they are also going through the same process of life and death and punarjanm and karma phal and their whole vasanas and the whole cycle. So they are on their own journey and you are on your own journey. What are you grieving about? When the prarabdha, that bundle of experiences that we are meant to experience, जो होके ही रहेगा, जितना सुख दुख और ऊंच नीच और जितना खुशी गम लिखा हुआ है इस लाइफ में, वो प्रारब्ध का बंडल है, वो होके ही रहेगा. और जैसे ही वो प्रारब्ध का बंडल खत्म हुआ, we are dead and our loved ones are dead. उनका काम खत्म. Now they moved on because their journey is from ignorance to ज्ञान. They have to move to स्पिरिचुअल एवोल्यूशन. वो इवॉल्व होने के लिए दूसरा जन्म ले रहे हैं, वो जा रहे हैं अपने जर्नी पर. डू यू फियर देयर डेथ? नो, यू फियर द थिंग्स दैट यू गॉट फ्रॉम देम. प्लेजर, सिक्योरिटी, लव, अफेक्शन, कंपेनियनशिप, जो भी है, वॉट एवर यू गॉट फ्रॉम देम, यू आर मिसिंग दैट. सो भगवान सेज sorrow in terms of death is not even reasonable. So what are you grieving about, Arjun? Standing here and saying कि अरे अब 10 दिन हो गए हैं, अगले हफ्ते तक ये मेरे सब cousins में, और भीष्म पितामह is dead by the time this ज्ञान starts. So therefore his grief is real. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. You are not going to die even after death. You have to continue your journey. अच्छा. And so then why do I suffer? हम जर्नी में हैं, but at this moment as I am living through this journey, we think our journey is from birth to death. Krishna says no, your journey is from ignorance to jnana. The moment you gain that jnana, all punarjanam and janma bandhan stops. The cycle stops and that journey is continuous. One continuum for Krishna, who can see the past, present, future. All the kal he can see. We can't see the time as past, present, so we see ourselves only in this present body. Why do I suffer? Because we don't understand that this sansar was not designed to give us happiness all the time. कि हमको क्यों नहीं सुख मिल रहा? अरे, the world is not designed for you. The world goes on by its own laws and then it follows its own laws. And all my attachment to external things makes me dependent on that, all those things. कि अब ये चले जाएंगे तो क्या होगा, ये ऑब्जेक्ट हमारे घर निकल जाएगा तो क्या होगा, अगर हमारी नौकरी चली गई, पैसा नहीं रहा तो मुझे घर बेचना पड़ेगा, अरे ये घर चला गया तो क्या होगा. Objects, people, relationships, my attachment is causing my dependence. So the equation is simple. Your suffering is equal to the dependence you have on outer things, equal to the amount of dependence. And I think, third reason for suffering, I think this world is real. This sansar is real. In what way is it real? Can anyone prove it? If there's an image that falls on the mirror, when the object moves away, where is that image? And everything in the world is moving. इसलिए उसका नाम है जगत. Gata in Sanskrit means to move, to walk, to move on. Gata, gati, speed. तो ये जगत का नाम ही है मूव करना, टू मूव ऑन, फिनिश, डिसइंटीग्रेट, रीजेनरेट लाइक द सीजन्स. वो तो उसका नेचर है. संसार विल फॉलो इट्स नेचर. व्हाट आर यू गेटिंग सो हंग अप अबाउट? एंड योर बीइंग हंग अप इज कॉल्ड योर डिपेंडेंस एंड द सोर्स ऑफ योर सॉरो. सो नंबर 14 में भगवान कहते हैं, आई एम स्टिल ऑन सेकेंड चैप्टर 1:4, मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत. मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय, आपकी जो इंद्रियां हैं वो सिर्फ बाहर चली जाती हैं और बाहर के चीज़ों के कांटेक्ट होते ही उसमें सुख दुख, कोल्ड एंड हीट एंड मान एंड अपमान एंड और यश और अपयश, ये सब चीज़ें जुड़ती जाती हैं. बट बाहर जाने की वजह से ये जुड़ती हैं संसार से और आपके सेंसेस के कनेक्शन से. बट जो भी आता है आपके झोली में, सुख दुख, शीत उष्ण, मान अपमान, ये सब आगमा पायिनो अनित्याः, ये आनी जानी चीज है और अनित्य है. इसलिए मैं कैसे जीऊं? ताम स्तितिक्षस्व भारत. Number 14. इसीलिए हे भारत, हे अर्जुन, तितिक्षा, forbearance. Just stand there and let the storm blow over. It takes 2 days for the storm to blow over. And your mind, which was running away in that disturbance, will, if you are a spiritual person, come back to its stillness. The mind coming back to its stillness faster and faster is the test of spirituality. कभी कभी हम अपने हर्ट को, अपने एंगर को, रिजेंटमेंट को, डिस्टर्बेंस को इतने दिन तक पकड़ के रखते हैं ना, लाइक रॉटन पोटैटोज इन अ बैग. There's a story, a child was told ki bring the same potatoes to class every day, but don't unload them at home. And after some time the children started saying, oh madam, please let us throw these potatoes away. They started stinking in the bag. So the teacher said, now you've learnt your lesson. All these resentments and hurts and इन्होंने क्या कहा और ऐसा करना चाहिए था नहीं किया और उन्होंने grave injustice is done to me, अपना victimhood जो होता है ना, हम लोग इतने दिन तक पकड़े रहते हैं till it turns into a rotten poison inside of us, like the bag of potatoes being carried day in and day out in that story about the children. So, and where do these disturbances come from? हम कह रहे हैं डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहे हैं, हाँ ठीक है आ रहे हैं, आई एक्सपीरियंस इट एंड देयरफॉर दे आर रियल फॉर मी. इफ आई एक्सपीरियंस इट, दे आर रियल फॉर मी. यस, श्योर. तो आई एम जस्ट गोइंग अ लिटिल अहेड ओनली फॉर दिस वन, नंबर 62, वर्स नंबर 62 ऑफ चैप्टर 2. ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषुपजायते, संगात् संजायते कामः, कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते. This is the ladder of fall, and this ladder has 8 steps. So in 8 steps we bring about our own destruction and downfall. How? The 8 steps ladder of fall is ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः. I think हमने एक संकल्प किया, एक ख्याल किया कि ये चीज़ अच्छी होगी, और उस ख्याल में हम फिर उसमें कामना हुई, फिर अटैचमेंट हो गया उस चीज़ से, एंड देन वी स्टार्टेड डूइंग सम एक्शन इन उस कामना को. कामात् क्रोधो विजायते. उस कामना को पूरा ना होते देख मुझे आया क्रोध, कि मैंने डिजायर किया, मैंने कामना की, लेकिन पूरा नहीं हुआ. क्यों? तो क्रोध आया. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट लैडर ऑफ फॉल नंबर 63. क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः, स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः, बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. क्रोध से हुआ सम्मोह, डिल्यूजन, कि हाँ I have forgotten my true nature. I have forgotten that sansar is made of very, very impermanent, passing, transient pleasures, and in that delusion I became angry and deluded. In that delusion I forgot my true. First of all, in the outer sense we forget our dignity, and we say things and we demean other people and demean ourselves in the, that is because we are forgetting our own dignity and sanskar. तो ये जो स्मृति भ्रंशाद कह रहे हैं ना, मेमोरी खो जाना, भूल जाना, मतलब क्या भूल गए? अपनी डिग्निटी, अपने संस्कार भूल गए उस क्रोध में, उस रिएक्शन में. ओके. एंड सेकेंड चीज हम क्या भूले एट द हायर लेवल, दैट अरे मैं तो ये छोटा सा देह मन बुद्धि अहंकार हूं ही नहीं, मैं तो आत्मा हूं, चलो छोड़ो, लेट्स ड्रॉप इट. वो भी भूल गए. क्यों भूल गए? स्मृति क्यों भ्रमित हो गई, स्मृति भ्रंशात? क्योंकि क्रोध इज ब्लाइंडिंग मी. एंड बुद्धि नाशात, एक बार ये स्मृति खो गई, दिस मेमोरी दैट हु एम आई इन द वर्ल्ड ऑल्सो, वो वाली अपने संस्कार भूल गए और अपना आत्मा भी भूल गए, तब बुद्धि नाश हो गया. और बुद्धि नाशात प्रणश्यति, आपने अपना विनाश, अपनी इंडिग्निटी और अपने खुद बना रखा है, खुद ऑर्केस्ट्रेट कर लिया है. यू हैव ऑर्केस्ट्रेटेड योर ओन डाउनफॉल. Nobody came into the picture from, you see from the beginning, ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः, हमने एक ख्याल किया और उस ख्याल के बाद एक इरादा हुआ, कामना, उसके बाद एक and then I got this feeling, एक संकल्प किया, और उस संकल्प के बाद उसको एक वर्बलाइज किया, कि दिमाग में वर्बलाइज किया, या बाहर भी कर सकते हैं, अल्फाज दे दिए कि ऐसा ऐसा होना चाहिए, अल्फाज दे दिए, फिर उसको जाहिर किया, कर्म किया, और उसके बाद वो शख्सियत और स्वभाव बन गया आपका, और आपको नहीं हासिल हुआ तो हमको क्रोध हुआ. Okay, these are our problems. And in chapter 2, Arjun is being told very clearly, you are the architect of your own problems. Do not point at the world and say, मेरे साथ क्यों हो रहा है. अगर आपको उसकी वजह नहीं दिख रही है इस लाइफ में, it is a carry over from some action and some thought in some other millions of lives before. Understand that and be titiksha, have fortitude and forbearance and stillness. Titiksha is a beautiful Sanskrit word. That's the only advice Krishna can give Arjun, is to hold titiksha. Everything is passing. Everything will pass over, blow over. Just hang on. Don't lose your true identity. But then, मालूम पड़ गया कि अच्छा बाहर से इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं, तो why don't I stop? Why am I looking outward all the time for my happiness? ये तो अपनी कंडीशनिंग है ना, always looking outward. तो नंबर 14 में, चैप्टर 2 नंबर 14 में भगवान कहते हैं, हाँ 14 तो अभी पढ़ा था, क्योंकि our senses are reaching out. So maybe I will read one, maybe 60. Maybe we have read number 14, that is matra sparshasthu kaunteya, आपकी इंद्रियां बाहर जाती हैं. So now I'll read the answer to this, why am I always looking outside. 58 please, sorry, please go to 58. I'll make a change here. 5:8 में कहते हैं भगवान, यदा संहरते चायम कूर्मोंगानीव सर्वशः इंद्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. क्योंकि हमारा मन बाहर भागे जा रहा है, हमको एक ही काम करना है. एक टॉर्टस की तरह जो एक कछुआ होता है, उसको बाहरी दुनिया से जब भी डेंजर दिखाई दिया, वो अपने लिम्स और अपना नेक सब कुछ अंदर खींच लेता है, वेयर ही इज साइलेंट एंड प्रोटेक्टेड फ्रॉम द ऑनस्लॉट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. ये डेंजर तो उसके लिए फिजिकल डेंजर है, टॉर्टस के लिए. हमारे लिए कौन सा ये डेंजर है, कौन सी चीजें हमको विड्रॉ करनी है, सेंसेस एंड माइंड, बिकॉज द साइट एंड साउंड एंड टच, एवरीथिंग इज सेइंग आई वांट. ये सेंसेस को क्वाइट करना है, टॉर्टस की तरह विड्रॉ करना है अपने आप में. लेकिन डेंजर हमारा फिजिकल नहीं है. व्हाट इज आवर डेंजर? वी डोंट सी द डेंजर ना, वी सी इट एज एन अट्रैक्शन. कोई नई ज्वेलरी आई है और हमारा अमेजोन भेजे जा रहा है नोटिफिकेशंस की नई ज्वेलरी आई है, यू मस्ट सी दिस डिजाइन दैट डिजाइन. और व्हेन आई एम ट्राइंग टू ओपन वन टॉक, मेरा एक टॉक मिस हो गया था किसी सर्वप्रियानंद जी का, स्वामी जी का टॉक जैसे ही खोलने गए, आई एम बीइंग बॉम्बार्डेड बाय ऑल दीज इमेजेस बाय Amazon and other. Now I need a lot of self control, and many times we have got lost by just following. अब छोटा सा लिंक है ना, देख लेते हैं, अरे अच्छा हाँ देख लेते हैं. वन लिंक इज लीडिंग टू अनदर लिंक इज लीडिंग टू अनदर लिंक. वही तो भगवान ने कहा है कि देन यू हैव लॉस्ट 1 hour and say, अरे हम तो यहाँ सर्वप्रियानंद जी का एक टॉक ढूंढने आए थे, बट ओहो आई हैव लॉस्ट टाइम बिकॉज आई वाज being led from one link to the other, which was right on top of the screen कि ये नया डिज़ाइन आया है ज्वेलरी का, या whatever you're seeking. Actually it could be a new brand of alcohol, it could be a new dance, whatever we are seeking. कहीं आया है chapter 2 में, I'll find that verse later for you. Whatever you are seeking, whatever your attention is on will seek you out. एक बार कभी हमने ज्वेलरी देखी होगी, बस इट्स सीकिंग मी आउट, नाउ इट इज सीकिंग मी आउट. ये भी देख लो, वो भी देख लो, वो भी देख लो, एंड ऑल द एक साजिश होने लगती है. सो वट एवर यू सीक इज सीकिंग यू. इफ यू आर सीकिंग स्पिरिचुअलिटी, इट विल चेज यू, इट विल नॉट लेट यू गो. It will find, even if you drop this group, there will be many other ways in which spirituality will come back and chase you. You know that many people from the old group have not joined this group, but I believe very strongly that because they had started the journey and heard the words of Krishna with such attention and love for the knowledge, somehow or the other, maybe not now, maybe later on, many years later or a few weeks later, somehow, somewhere, through another instrument, not me, but through another instrument, that knowledge will reach them. क्योंकि एक बार आपने किसी चीज को छू लेना, एक अटेंशन, एक लव के साथ, एक अटेंशन के साथ, इट विल चेज यू. अमेजॉन की ही स्टोरी आपको मालूम है. Okay, what else is my problem? That I'm looking outward because of my senses. All my senses are actually deteriorating with age, and therefore I stop getting the same kind of pleasure from even my senses which I used to get 20 years ago. So then again anger and frustration and disappointment कि अरे ये संसार में अब बचा क्या है, मैंने तो सबको but I want more of the same. I'll tell you a small story which is there in the Puranas. Yudhishthir जब जंगल में गए थे, and you know that his brothers, all of them had been killed by the Yaksha because they had gone, it's a long story. So Yudhishthir, when he went last to look for these 4 brothers in the forest and they were all dead, killed by the Yaksha, Yaksha said, Yudhishthir, if you answer one question of mine, I will bring your brothers to life and I will set you all free. तो क्वेश्चन क्या था? यक्ष ने बोला, Yudhishthir, tell me what is the most surprising, astounding thing about these human beings. So what do you think? The most surprising thing about the human beings, Yudhishthir बोले कि वो जानता है कि वो मरने वाला है, ये मृत्यु लोक है. The jagat we live in is मृत्यु लोक. वो जानता है the end of the story is a bundle of ashes. He's going to die, and yet he lives with the kind of vigor and hunger for sensory pleasures as if he will never die. Yaksha freed him and brought his brothers to life because this was the right answer. So Yudhishthir knew it, but we don't know it. For some strange reason, we don't know it. But then if I am not this bundle of flesh and bones and this transient mind and this fickleness of the mind जो हर समय बदलता रहता है, मैं हूँ कौन फिर? Who am I? So number 16, 1-6, chapter 2, 1-6. नासतो विद्यते भावः न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. The unreal in you, which is your flesh and bones and your fickle mind and aham, that unreal never had an entity of its own. तो वो तो जानी की चीज है, and it was never real. And that which is real in you, that constant, continuous factor, which is never dormant, even when you are fast asleep, in deep, deep sleep, you are not aware of your body, or your senses, or your dreams, or your ambitions, or your loves, or your hates. There is no emotion, there is nothing, you don't know the date and time, whether you live in the 1st century or the 21st. There is no time, there is no kal, there is no desh. And yet, there is a continuity about you in deep sleep. What is that continuous factor? That is the only real thing. तो इन्होंने बोल दिया, that is who you are. Okay, अब समझ में आया. So ये जो आत्मा है जिसकी आप बात कर रहे हैं, so what is its identity? उसका क्या nature है? So number 23. 23 में वो कहते हैं, नयनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नयनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः. ये एक ऐसी चीज है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये चीज नहीं है, लेकिन ये वो है जिसको न कोई जला सकता है, न वेट कर सकता है, न गीला कर सकता है, न स्लाइस कर सकता है. यू कैन नॉट स्लाइस इट टू पीसेस और वेट इट, और आप एक चाकू लीजिए और आपके सामने स्पेस है, आप उस स्पेस को काट के दिखा दीजिए, यू कैन नॉट कट इट. आप पानी लीजिए और उस स्पेस में पानी उछालिए, स्पेस गीला हुआ. So space is not Atma, of course, but space is the closest सूक्ष्म थिंग, द सटलेस्ट थिंग नेक्स्ट टू आत्मा, इसलिए वो एग्जाम्पल दिया गया है। तो ये वो चीज़ है जिसको न तो हम देख ही नहीं सकते, एक्सपीरियंस नहीं कर सकते, तो काट के या गीला करके या हवा से, हाँ, न शोषयति मारुतः, जितना भी जल हवा से सुखा भी नहीं सकते। हाँ, अच्छा, इसका ये नेचर है। तो फिर ये है क्या चीज़? तो नंबर 24 चीज़ नहीं है, बट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ सेइंग। अच्छेद्योयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः। अच्छा, तो इसका नेचर है कि अगर ये कैनॉट बी स्लाइस्ड और कट और बर्न्ट और ड्राइड और सेंस्ड और सीन और फेल्ट बाय द सेंसेस, it is just an existence which makes you exist, that's eternal spark in you. So it is eternal. है कहाँ? Where is it? अरे, it's all pervading and it cannot be moved. स्पेस जो आपके कबर्ड में है, वो स्पेस आप निकाल के थोड़ा बाहर कर दीजिए प्लीज। कैन यू मूव स्पेस? नो, बिकॉज स्पेस इज एवरीवेयर. अगेन, स्पेस इज नॉट आत्मा, जस्ट द क्लोजेस्ट सूक्ष्म थिंग. You cannot move it, so it is immovable, it is ancient, it doesn't have birth and death. That means it is, in Sanskrit, nitya, eternal, sarvagatah, all pervading, sthanuhu, stable, achaloyam, immovable. How can you move it? And you say कि अरे आत्मा हमारी बॉडी से निकल के मरने के बाद कहीं और गई. There is no movement as such. It is so subtle. सनातनः, लाइक रेडियो वेव्स. रेडियो वेव्स को आप मूव करते हैं क्या? सो इट्स टू सटल. और वाईफाई वेव्स, यू कैन मूव देम फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू. सनातनः, एंशंट, एंशंट. अच्छा, तो ये मैं हूँ. यस, दिस इज द रियल यू. तो इन्होंने चैप्टर 2 में तो पूरा ज्ञान दे ही दिया है, लेकिन आई कैनॉट रीच इट, इसलिए मुझे टूल्स और टेक्निक्स चाहिए होते हैं. इसलिए पूरे गीता में आगे चल के ये टूल्स दिए जाएंगे विच वी हैव टू प्रैक्टिस. उसका तप, उसका यज्ञ, उसकी साधना हमको करनी है थ्रू आउट लाइफ एंड थ्रू मेनी लाइफ टाइम्स. तो वो टेक्निक्स पर पहले तो ज्ञान दे देते हैं भगवान. एंड वेयर कैन आई फाइंड आत्मा? अभी तो बताया, सर्वगत, इट्स एवरीवेयर. एंड व्हेन विल आई फाइंड इट? अरे, यू आर दैट राइट नाउ. You just have to uncover the dust over the covering of the mirror. And the dust is what? My mind. The mind is the dust which is full of काम, क्रोध, मद, लोभ, मोह, greed, envy, jealousy. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, desires. काम जो है ना, desire for this, वो that covers it like a cloud. Cloud move करिए, the sun is already there. You don't have to say मुझे sun ढूंढने जाना है. उसी सन के प्रकाश में तो आप अपने आप को पहचान रहे हैं, वरना आप सेल्फ अवेयर कैसे होते? हाउ कैन यू बी सेल्फ अवेयर? मैं कौन हूँ? ये प्रश्न कौन पूछता? ये प्रश्न पूछने वाला कौन है? दैट सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इटसेल्फ इज बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. सो इट इज देयर, ऑलवेज देयर. हाँ, बट द क्लाउड, द डार्क क्लाउड्स आर टू हैवी. बट द वर्ल्ड, यू नो, it really treats me very badly. Yes, if it treats you badly, Bhagwan has, first of all, he said, get detached. If you can't get detached, then become, actually without detachment, you just cannot get over it. So forget about that. Detachment is needed. And in number 38, Bhagwan समझाते हैं. I'll just take a minute. सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम वाप्स्यसि. In dealing with the world, just do one thing. When you're dealing with the world, keep the imposters, these thieves, गुंडे, looters, सुख दुख दोनों. सुख को भी लूटर बोला है, प्लीज रिमेंबर, क्योंकि उसका ऑब्वर्स साइड दुखी है ना. सुख दुख, लाभ अलाभ, गेन एंड लॉस, विक्ट्री सक्सेस, मान अपमान, यश अपयश, ये सब आप इन चोरों को है ना, इम्पोस्टर्स को बाहर रखिए, दरवाजे के बाहर. उसके बाद बंद करके अपना कमरे में अपना काम ध्यान पूर्वक, जो भी आपको ड्यूटीज दी गई हैं लाइफ में, वो करिए. व्हाट अ गुड पीस ऑफ एडवाइस. सो इफ द वर्ल्ड रॉक्स, keep these guys from banging at the door, keep them outside your door. Who? Sukha, Dukha, Labh, Alabh, Jay, Parajay, everything. It doesn't have any existence. उसमें attention मत दीजिए, because they don't have a permanence or a reality about them. So जो चीज़ real नहीं है, forget about it. So these are only your thieves. And like a tortoise, please withdraw. तो ऐसे भी कोई लोग होते हैं क्या? अर्जुन के मन में आया, अच्छा ऐसे भी कोई लोग होते हैं जो एकदम अपने में स्थित हो जाएं और स्थित प्रज्ञ हो जाएं. तो उनकी क्वालिटीज क्या हैं? ये तो 5-6 क्वालिटीज पिछली बार बताई थी, बिकॉज वी वर कंप्लीटिंग चैप्टर 2. लेकिन मे बी आई कैन टेक अप द क्वालिटीज ऑफ स्थित प्रज्ञ और गिव इट फॉर होमवर्क इफ यू रिमेंबर. If some of you remember the qualities, you can do it for homework. Otherwise, I will definitely do it next time. The 18 qualities, or at least I'll do a few, of a Sthita Pragya. Sthita Pragya is one who has done all this, what God has taught in chapter 2, about your true nature, who you are, what is your true permanent reality, what is the unreal in which your mind फंसा हुआ है, all that, so you can easily get detached. वो सब बताने के बाद भगवान कहते हैं, अच्छा अब एक कुछ लोगों को हम देखेंगे ना, जैसे युधिष्ठिर हैं, तो वो हम अपने अपने हीरो बन जाएंगे. वो हीरो को देख देख के तुम नकल तो कर सकते हो ना. तो स्थित प्रज्ञा की क्वालिटीज बताने के बाद आई विल मूव इनटू चैप्टर 3 and 4 next time. But I might give some homework for self study, swadhyaya, so please bear with me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you.